just got a letter. Maybe it's fan mail. Maybe it's from my fan. Let's see. Cease and desist. Stop using the word nab in your book hauls. Please make use of the following instead. Grab, bought, purchased, snatched, detained, clutched, apprehended, captured. I clutched or apprehended books from a book haul. I snatched books from a book sale. I clutched books from a free little library. This is not going to work. Oh well, not my problem. Sincerely, nabbed. Are you serious? You know what is serious? My channel, sort of. Hi, my name's Bea and welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance. And stop saying that she nabbed books in her book hauls. It's been a long time since I've hauled any contemporary, fantasy, or paranormal romance. I've never done a haul of YA romance or cozy mysteries. I've even got women's fiction. I'm also going to include some historical romances, even though I just did a haul. I've acquired some new ones. So you're going to see a little bit of everything in this video. Don't you worry, I will have chapters on the bottom so you can just go to exactly what you're interested in. It's gonna be 88 books of fun. And I'm so glad you've joined me. Let's talk about cozy mysteries. I was excited when I found these at several library sales. I got all of these for probably about $3. These are the Hannah Swenson mysteries. The covers and the titles looked so fun. I've seen the Hannah Swenson mysteries on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, so I was excited to grab these copies. Triple Chocolate Cheesecake Murder, Apple Turnover Murder, Red Velvet Cupcake Murder. Are you noticing a trend? We're just gonna take yummy foods and attach the word murder to them. Raspberry Danish Murder, Devil's Food Cake Murder, Cinnamon Roll Murder. I love a good cinnamon roll hero, so of course I had to grab that one. Let's talk about a little YA romance. Everybody's talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty, but what about To All the Boys I've Loved Before? Yes, I loved the movies, and I was so excited when I got this at a free little library. A young girl dealing with the fallout after her love letters that she wrote to purge herself of the loves of her life that were never meant to be said get out. It's a lot of fun. We can't keep meeting like this. We have a teen girl and a guy who's home from college. They started a fling, and it might come back to fruition because they're going to be working together all summer at weddings. I really want to read this one soon. A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. It's part of Reese Witherspoon's book club. A gal from Miami meets a teen boy as she spends the summer as a fish out of water in England. Women's fiction coming at ya. I just noticed that this says ARC, advanced reader's copy, not for resale. I got this for $1 at a library sale. I already own the Tea Rose, and many of you talked about how incredible it was. We have a woman doctor and a gangster who fall in love against all odds. Kensington Books sent me these just out of the kindness of their hearts, but they might be a little too dark for me. The tagline for this one is American Gothic meets Outlander. And in this one, we have a haunted house where a woman is living on her own. Let's talk alien romance. I own the first 3 books in the Ice Planet Barbarian series by Ruby Dixon. I find the Ice Planet Barbarian books that are being reprinted right now to be absolutely gorgeous. Of course, I'm scooping all of them up as they come out. Here we have Barbarian Mine, book 4. Not only does it have a honeymoon that Ruby Dixon wrote just for this book, it also has a short story called Fathers. One of my all-time favorite Ice Planet Barbarians books, Barbarian's Prize, again, includes a honeymoon that Ruby Dixon wrote just for this iteration of the book. And book 6, the latest release, this one also includes a honeymoon that she wrote just for this book. Since I just talked about Alien, let's talk about paranormal. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. Don't quote me on the pronunciation of that author. This, I believe, came out last year. I heard so much buzz about it. I am 100% going to be reading this in October. I've heard nothing but good things. I cannot wait. I could not help myself when I saw this book called Trick or Treat with a cute little kitten in it. It is a romance collection, short stories by unknown to me romance authors. I have been slowly but surely collecting all of the Fever novels by Karen Marie Moning. I've heard so many good things about this series. I'm excited to add this to my collection. For $1, I was able to get 4 more books in the Immortals After Dark series by Cressley Cole. I haven't read this series yet, but I know I like this author that talks about all of the magical creatures of lore that we think don't exist, but really exist alongside of us and are fighting in a battle of supremacy. I've just acquired Book 10, Dreams of a Dark Warrior, Book 9, Demon from from the Dark, Book 12, Shadow's Claim, and Book 8, Pleasure of a Dark Prince. I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I've heard so much about the Shatter Me series. This is book 2, Unravel Me. Is this contemporary romance? I don't think so. It seems like we're in a post-apocalyptic world. I've even read the synopsis and I'm still not sure. Everyone is going on and on about this author, whose name I will mispronounce, so I'm not going to, and this series. So it looks like it might be dark. It looks intense. I know it's romance. Someone help me in the comments, would you? Okay, now we're gonna head into a very massive section, contemporary romance. And I'm gonna start with one of my favorite authors ever, Chloe Lee's. I have 3 of her 6 books that have been published so far in the Bergman Brothers series. I hit 1,000 subscribers back in May, and to help me celebrate, the fabulous Laura, one of my favorite online friends, sent me this from my wish list. I thought it was so sweet of her. Thank you again, Laura. I'm so excited to have this. This is book 1 in the Bergman Brothers series. We have a young man who is still struggling with the loss of hearing and a woman who's trying to get over the death of her mother. They are sort of forced to work together on a group project in college, and what happens is magic. Another friend of mine online who wanted to share in the fun of me hitting 1,000 subscribers. This is from Steph of Novelty Corner, who I adore. Please check out her channel. If you haven't yet, you will love it. She is one of my favorite booktubers out there. This is her favorite of the Bergman Brothers series, With You Forever, book 4. We have Axel and Rooney. When these two come together for a marriage of convenience, sparks fly and lives that were half-lived become whole in this beautiful, beautiful story. I also grabbed Everything for You the other day at a used bookstore. We have Oliver, he's our Bergman brother, and then we also have Gavin. They're co-captains on a soccer team. This is an enemies to lovers that was so much fun. Speaking of sports romance, I recently got at the same time at a used bookstore, Him and Us by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. If you haven't read this yet, I can't recommend it highly enough. It was hard to even choose which one I liked better. It might be this one. It's very exciting to own the physical copies, but I recommend listening as well. Teddy Hamilton and Jacob Morgan, 2 of my big time narrator crushes, co-narrate these, and it is yummy. And keeping the hockey romance train going, I got 2 from the off-campus series, and now I realize they're different sizes, so that's gonna drive me crazy. This is book 1, The Deal. Hannah and Garrett don't like each other, but they're in the same class and he really needs her help. The 2 of them really wind up helping one another, and I was totally surprised by how much I really enjoyed the story, to the point where when I saw book 4 of the series, I could not help myself but to grab it. I can't wait to read more. I already had book 3 of the Brown Sisters series, so when I was able to nab books 1 and 2 of the same series, I couldn't wait. I've heard nothing but good things about these 3 ladies who are obviously sisters and the loves that they find. I plan on reading these by the time the year ends for sure. I have not read Lucy Score yet, but I've heard fantastic things. So I couldn't help myself when just for a couple bucks, I was able to get 2 books by her, The Worst Best Man and Forever Never, which is part book and part doorstop. Look at this thing, almost 600 pages. It looks like the maid of honor and the best man are enemies, 2 lovers in this book, while this one is set at Mackinac Island in the winter and appears to be an epic second chance romance. I've had this for a while, so you've probably seen this in one of my videos because it's one of my favorite books of all time. Abby Jimenez's Part of Your World, but I got the special cover through Steambox. But is this not gorgeous? If you've read this, you know just how insanely swoony this is. I look at this cover all the time, and I apologize for the glare, but I was so excited to get another copy of this, and now I'm wondering what should I do with the other copy that I got at Target like a year ago, because I don't know if I can give away a Abby Jimenez. And speaking of, I got this right when it came out. I was so excited, and not only did she sign it, but her 2 pooches did as well, which I thought was so cute. Speaking of sign and contemporary romance that I love, Forget Me Not. I got the regular version and the UK version the other day when I got to meet Julie Soto in person. They had a raffle and I won this. I know I just talked about this in another video, I'm sorry. But yes, she signed both of these, one while I was there, and then this one was pre-signed, ready to roll for whoever won. And I am just so excited to own these and to have met her. This is another enemies to lovers that's actually been optioned for a TV show. So try to read this if you can before the show comes out. And while we are talking about signed contemporary romance, I've got 4 more to talk to you about. I got these 2 through a Hello Lovely box. They were doing a clearance sale. They're both signed by the author, and I'm really excited about both of these. I haven't really done baseball romance yet. This is set in college. We have a girl who's always keeping the other girls away from the baseball players at parties. They're calling her a jock block. Anyway, this guy is tasked with dealing with her, and apparently what happens is a whole lot of romance. This one looks really interesting. We have a woman who is a single parent. She's still nursing her wounds, and her former lover slash professor. These two yummy covers were from something called Bookworm Box. I got these at a library sale. I looked up Bookworm Box to see if it was still going because I was very intrigued, and I think it's over now. It does have a website. I'll link it below in case you're interested. They specialize in specialty books, ones that are signed by the authors. This appears to be a second chance football romance, and apparently our football player is very rich and very famous. And this one is between a British rock star and his babysitter. That makes sense. The woman who babysits his children. But wait, there's more, much more contemporary romance. I recently got the book that follows the love hypothesis, Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is probably my favorite Ali Hazelwood, actually. I really enjoyed seeing an engineer and a neuroscientist work together despite the fact that they hate one another. It was super spicy, it was deep, and Levi is basically like the perfect man. I read the summary of this one and just about died. It's called Jane in Love. It's supposed to be actual Jane Austen who time travels to present day and begins falling in love with someone, but as she's falling into love with him, she realizes that the books that she published once upon a time are disappearing off the shelves. I can't wait to read this. It gives me goosebumps even hearing this plot. I enjoyed A Lady for a Duke, which was a historical romance written by Alexis Hall. So when I saw this at a used bookstore, I had to scoop it up. Rosaline Palmer takes the cake. It's a single mom who winds up on a British baking show, which I always enjoy those, and she finds love in the process. I think Christina Lauren is just going to be an auto-buy author for me, or auto-buy authors, I should say, since I know they're two people. Twice in a Blue Moon. I was so excited to grab this for like $1 at a library sale. If you hadn't figured it out, it's a second chance romance set on a Hollywood set between a woman who is an actress and a guy she never expected to see again. Looks really intriguing. Last year I read Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match by Sally Thorne. Everyone who read it compared it to this book, which they acted like was one of their favorites of Sally Thorne's. When I saw this for 50 cents at a used book sale, I had to pick it up. I'm really intrigued to see what she does with contemporary romance. I fell so hard in love with Catherine Center recently when I read Hello Stranger, and I know a lot of people love The Bodyguard. They talk about it left, right, and sideways. So when I saw this at a used bookstore the other day, I had to grab it. I cannot tell you how excited I am to read it. I've heard mixed things about this. I know the series is supposed to be really good. I saw this for 50 cents at a library sale the other day, so I had to pick it up. It's a hockey romance, so I really want to try it. I love this one. I just talked about this one in my Enemies to Rivals too. This is the first book in the Spanish Love Deception series. We have Lena and Aaron. She has to go to a wedding overseas, and her coworker who hates her, he decides to go with her as a favor, and things heat up in this fake dating romance. I have been slowly accumulating romance book club books from that series. It just sounds so cute. A bunch of guys who are sort of clueless that get together and read romance novels in order to figure out how to romance the women that are in their lives or hope to be in their lives. And I just picked this one up the other day. Crazy Stupid Bromance. Got it for $1 at a library sale. This is book 3 in the series, and I can't wait to get into the whole thing. I listened to this when it came out. I became so obsessed, I immediately had to go to Target and get this for 20% off, which I think all the books at Target are always 20% off, so I think it's kind of a ploy. Let's be honest. This is such a good book by Emily Henry. It just came out this year. A group of friends who have been together forever get together to celebrate the wedding of two of the people in their group. Unfortunately, two other people in their group have separated and have to fake being together in order to make this last week in a beautiful vacation cottage go off smoothly. This looked so humorous. I thought it was a Christmas book because of the colors. It's like a winter book. This is book 4 in the Under Kansas Skies series. We have a guy who's lost a bet and has to swear off women for 4 months, and a woman that he's been pining after for years. She asks him to be his fake date at a wedding in the woods. You can imagine what happens next. It sounds fun and something I'd like to read this winter. I have heard so much about the Twisted series. This is book 2, Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I don't know if these are going to be too dark for me. I guess I'm gonna find out, but I couldn't pass up this. I got it actually for $6, a little more pricey than I usually spend. I thought, well, if it's not for me, I can always pop it in a free little library or something. So I really want to start reading more heroines who are plus size. When I saw this the other day, I've heard so much about this. I think most of the people that I know really enjoyed this. We have a famous actor and a woman who makes comments about him online, and then they wind wind up falling for each other over time. It looks like Olivia Dade writes nothing but adorable plus-size heroines and men who love them, and I can't wait to get into this author, and what a perfect place to start. I was so excited to nab this at a used bookstore. I already grabbed The Heart Principle. This is the first book in the Kiss Quotient series. I already owned book 3 of the Kiss Quotient series. So when I got this book, The Kiss Quotient, book 1 of that same series, I couldn't pass this up. This is a heartwarming story about a gal on the autism spectrum and the man who woos her. It looks very sweet and I cannot wait to dive in. This looked so cute. I bought it without knowing a whole lot else about the author, the series, anything. Is this even part of a series? Lauren Rowe is a USA Today and international best-selling author. Okay, now we know that. No, this is a standalone. Okay, this is not a part of a series at all. I just made that up. Anyway, this is about a guy. He is in a band and he seems so self-effacing and sweet and quirky. I just love it. Apparently he has no game, but he's trying to woo a girl. He's saying all the wrong things and he's even afraid of kissing her. It just sounded so cute. And coming from a rock star of all things, I just had to pick this up and I can't wait to read it. Now we're going to talk about historical romance. I was going to get my big pile and show it to you, but it's too big. So let's just get into it. Let's start with authors I haven't read yet, but are really excited about. Look at this disaster. You see what I'm talking about? Okay, I lied. We're not starting historical romance yet. We're about to. This is set, well, no, it is. This is historical romance. It's just set more recent, like in the 50s, I believe, hence this step back. But this is about a cat and mouse game. There's a spy. There's like 4 different things going on. I'm not really sure. I know this author, Iris Johansen, is very beloved. I've seen a lot of her step backs. They are interesting. And I'm really excited to read this and figure out what in the world it's about. Cat Sebastian. I grabbed this the other day. It's historical romance. It's not going to fit all of my mass market paperbacks, which is going to drive me crazy. But I've heard such good things about this cozy historical romance. I am so excited that I have this. I have not read Amelie Howard yet. I cannot wait to do it. This book has been brought up to me so many times because I love a good Beauty and the Beast retelling, and many people say this is the best one. I haven't read Madeline Hunter yet, but I couldn't help getting the first book in the Duke's Heiresses series. We've got a strong heroine here. When a guy breaks into her home, she beats him over the head. Good for her. Unfortunately, the guy she beats over the head is actually a good guy who's investigating something. Gee, I wonder if they'll end up together. My 3-year-old ripped my original copy of The Secret. She just thought it was so beautiful, I guess. Anyway, I got a new copy that is not ripped at all, and I'm looking forward to adding this to my shelves. This is the first book in the Highlands Lairds series. I know I said I wasn't going to buy any more Sabrina Jeffries until I read her. Okay, I lied because I got this. It was 25 cents. I mean, come on. And look how beautiful. It's like a painting. And look at that green. Are you going to tell me that if you were in my situation, you wouldn't have bought this? I got 2 by Vivian Lorette. I've always wanted to own her. I've heard great things. Let's talk about these 2. These are books 1 and 3 of the Mating Habits of Scoundrels series. We have book 1, Lord Holt Takes a Bride, and book 3, The Wrong Marquess. I think I pronounced that correctly. I've also got 2 by Julia London, another author I've been dying to own. This is book 3 of the Desperate Debutantes series, The Dangers of Deceiving a Viscount. And this is book 3 of the A Royal Match series, The Viscount Who Vexed Me. So as we can see, Julia London is really into Viscounts, apparently. Have I read Maya Banks yet? No. Do I want to? Yes. I have 2 books by her that I was able to grab for 25 cents a piece at a library sale. They're both from the McCabe trilogy. We have book 1, In Bed with a Highlander, and book 3, Never Love a Highlander. It's been too long since I've really read a Highlander. I also got some of my favorite historical romance authors here. I was so excited when I got a couple more Christina Britton for 75 cents a piece at a used bookstore. I have been drooling over the Sinful Spinsters series, and when I found out that it was a spin-off of the Isle of Sin series, I was so excited, and now I have book 1, A Good Duke is Hard to Find, and book 3, A Duke Worth Fighting For. I'm hoping to get this entire series soon. I love this author so much. So excited to add to my Joanna Shoup collection, specifically my 5th Avenue Rebels collection with the very first book in the series, The Heiress Hunt. I got this for 75 cents at a used bookstore. Also, the other day at a library sale for 25 cents, I got book 1 in the Love by Numbers series by Sarah MacLean. I already had book 2. So now I have book 1. Now I just need book 3. I recently got the arc for the Unforgettable Love series by Stacey Reed, which is book 2 in the series. So when I saw this at a used bookstore for 75 cents, I could not pass it up. This is book 1, A Matter of Temptation. Everybody I know has fallen deeply in love with this book. So excited to read it as part of the historical romance readathon before I read book 2. And then most excitingly, honestly, because this is one of my 6 stars for the year, The Wolf and the Wildflower. This is my first ever Stacy read that I read. This was also an ARC, actually. I fell so deeply in love with this book and this author. The passion between these two is off the charts. It was such a moving story, and the ending is so much fun, and I loved it, and I'm looking for more Stacy read whenever I can find it. I have a confession. I really loved Bookshop Cinderella by Laura Lee Gerke, and the other day I was able to grab a ton more of her books for 25 cents a piece, and I thought, why not? I think I like this author. We'll see how much I do. Because I just bought a lot of her books. Get ready. The rest of this video is gonna be just Laura Lee Gerke acquisitions. See what I'm talking about? This is all Laura Lee Gerke. Get ready. So I already have the first book in the Girl Bachelor series. So I was excited to get books 2 and 3. Now I only need 4. This is book 2, The Wicked Ways of a Duke. And here we have book 3, Secret Desires of a Gentleman. And guess what, guys? We have a step back. I like it. I love the purple. Finally, a step back. It's about time, right? I think we've seen 1 in this video. So apparently the spin-off series is called the Abandoned at the Altar series. And I have 2 of those 3 books in the series. Book 1, Wedding of the Season. And guess what? There is a step back again. Not my favorite. That's okay. No, as I'm looking at it closer, I really do like the detail. Okay, this is growing on me now. It's growing on me. And book 3 of 3, Trouble at the Wedding, with, guess what, another step back. This one I'm loving. Love the clothes, love the draping, love the colors, love the wind, the drama. Oh yeah. There are 4 books in the American Heiress in London series. I already had 1, and now I have the other 3. Book 1, When the Marquis Met His Match, with a step back. Oh, it's so cool. I love the paint. How interesting and different. I already had book 2. Here's book 3, Catch a Falling Heiress, with a step back. Oh, let's display this during St. Patrick's Day. And book 4, No Mistress of Mine, with a step back. Oh my gosh. The draping of the clothes in this series is just gorgeous. I love the colors. They just pop. I feel like it's all about the dresses. There are 4 books in the Dear Lady True Love series, and I have 3 of them. Book 1, The Truth About Love and Dukes. I love the drama in this picture. The wind, the draping, the fact that it looks like an empty ballroom at night. So cool. Book 3, Governess Gone Rogue. Look how pretty this dress is, and I love the garden. And book 4, Heiress Gone Wild. These are really gorgeous covers. I love the sunset in the background and her jewelry. Oh my gosh. I love the detail. There are 4 books in the Guilty series. I had 1 and now I have 2 more for a total of 3, if you can do math. Book 3, The Marriage Bed. And we have a step back on the back. Oh, I love it. Anybody whose favorite color is purple, like me, you will love this. Book 4, She's No Princess. And we have a step back on the back. Let's take a look. And I love how she's hiding the tiara behind her. That's so perfect. And you can catch that in the front too. Oh, how fun. And last but not least, hopefully, 2 standalones by Laura Lee Gerke. These look very old school. The Charade and Breathless, with pictures of front porches and streets. Again, I want to own all of hers until I've decided not to. So I grabbed these for 25 cents a piece at a library sale. I'm really excited to get more into this author. Can you tell? Well, that was so much fun. I'm so thankful that you got to join me. Now I'm going to be putting these on my shelves. But that's for another video. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is that you're reading, whether you got it in a haul or not. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.